you are driving me away. No. Give me a reason to hold on, stretch it too thin into one day it all caves in. No. Give me a reason to be next to you. Ooh, you know love's not enough to get you through. Ooh, make it easier next to you. Ooh, you know love.
I wanted to say something really ridiculous.
I know.
Say it.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything quick enough.
I was just going to say I'm Tyler Hamlin and I don't do anything.
Summer and I write lyrics and play guitar and sing.
I'm Jacob. I'm the bass man.
He's the bass man.
I drum, I guess.
I drum, I guess.
Other than that, I don't do anything.
He just hits some stuff.
I honestly don't even know.
I don't want to say terrible because I just, but I don't want to seem like I actually don't like the band. Because
Nah, just
I
meme
don't-
on it.
Huh?
That's the humor of the band. Is
I know.
Memeing on it all the time.
I don't know. Just 3 buds.
3 buds making some tunes. I don't know. Well, when we first got together, I said that we were indie rock and that scared you.
That did not scare me.
No.
Oh, no,
Okay.
it did scare me. 'Cause I thought they were going to be like a Tame Impala copy.
Yeah, you thought it was
That's
going to be
kinda
all like chill vibes.
Yeah.
Which we have some chill vibes. Ghost, which we never played.
Yeah.
And then I think now I say more alt rock because of that.
Yeah.
Even though it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Alt rock. There's some, I feel like dream pop influence maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There's some dreamy, vibey songs.
There's some folk influence.
For sure.
Some soul influence.
Mm-hmm. What do
Yeah.
you got?
We're just an alt band, I'd say.
And
Yeah.
he
I
think
likes
it's-
Flea.
I do like Flea. Yeah.
Yeah, we bonded over Crumb and
We
Peach
did bond
Pit
over Crumb.
off the
Yeah.
rip. And then Tyler doesn't have like any shared.
We never bonded.
with us. It's like we have the same music taste, and then
Tyler
there's
likes
like
My Chemical
Tyler.
Romance.
Yeah.
I don't not like My Chemical Romance.
I don't like any of the music that you guys like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's the sound. Just 3.
Just 3 pals.
Band mix.
Yeah, we met
Yeah.
on Band Mix, which was really funny. Because I didn't even know what you looked like, and I was like, "Here's my
she just
address."
invited me into her home. Loki should not do that.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't tell you my apartment number though. I was like, I at least have like
Yeah.
one layer of screening to like meet you in the parking lot and to be like, okay, this is my apartment specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just jammed in my room and it was good. And I was like, sick. And then we had some rando other drummer. What if he sees this?
He might.
We had some rando other drummer that like left. And then I met Tyler through Zoe in a random other rehearsal that Gabby brought me into because we were hanging out. And then Zoe was like, I can record your stuff. And I was like, cool, I just need a drummer though. And Tyler was like, I'm a drummer, and gave me his business card.
It's the only time my business cards have gotten me a gig. I've given my business cards out so much and they've never worked.
Yeah. And I thought that you were, like, that was more of like,
It was like an R&B soul thing. So you thought I was just an R&B soul
yeah,
drummer?
I was like, I was like, whatever, I guess. And then I told you that he's probably going to be temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
Like 2 years later?
Mm-hmm. We never talked about it. I just played the one show.
Yeah.
I was supposed to just do one show and then we just kept rehearsing.
Yeah, and then it was like, so I'll see you guys on Wednesday. And then it was just like, it just like kept going. Lately it's been, I write a song and then bring it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been jamming more. And most of that's just because I had like an hour or so of material before even meeting you guys. So it's been like me sometimes even having like a bass line or like drum fill idea, but it's gotten more collaborative as we've like moved through that repertoire. Like the other night you started playing a thing and we all
Yeah.
started playing around the bass line, and like we have like a little folder of jams that I want to like write over, so the process is starting to like get more like molten, and like we're starting to like change it up a bit. And even my personal process has changed because I feel like I used to write like lyrics, melody, and guitar, but my guitar parts that was like in a rut with guitar, and now I'm like writing lyrics and melody and then like really strategically like harmonizing it on guitar, which is like not something that we performed yet, but it's just something that I've started doing with my own writing process lately.
Yeah.
EP, like song-wise, was written before the band. So I wrote the EP like lyrically when I was like 18, 19. So it's pretty old, pretty old stuff. And then, yeah, we kind of put that together. That's been like, I tried to record that same EP with a different band in college, and like the pandemic happened. So that didn't happen. So it's been like in the queue for release for a really long time. And then, you know, finally got the band together. And I feel like there wasn't as much room for you guys to like put yourselves into it as like you have now with like the newer songs, but I still think that like it's different than it would have been if I played with the other band or like by myself or something like that.
I did change a lot on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just
it's
'cause-
like
Just because, like, over time, like, originally those songs with, like, at least the parts that I made, it was kind of just, like, copying whatever people played on it before for, like, the first show.
Yeah.
And then, like, as each show went on, like, I kept changing stuff slowly.
yeah. So I'm glad that you guys had your hands in that, I guess.
Yeah. So
but
we,
it's like
we
just
had some
scratching the
time.
surface.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna get way more collaborative,
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying. I'm excited. Recording it?
We recorded it with my husband.
Yeah,
Aiden
Aiden
Roberts.
Roberts. Yeah.
I was like, are you guys husbands?
No,
I mean, you
we're
did
just on
were.
the side.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
divorced. We divorced so that I could be with Aiden.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's a touchy
You and your
subject.
many boyfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember I was like really stressed out about how to record this shit because I didn't know if I wanted to record to like a metronome, and I was like, is that gonna kill the vibe? And then there's stuff like rooted, which like it's like all over the place like tempo wise, and I just didn't want to be like in the middle of recording a song and then be like, oh shit, we're a little off track from the metronome, and then have this weird like jolty like sound in the chair. But yeah. And I remember we started recording with Zoe, and we were all in the same room and not with a metronome, but then we couldn't do overdubs, and that was
Yeah.
really stressing me out. And it was like, by the third take, I couldn't get through like a verse. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
I would get so in my fucking head that I would get like 2 lines in, and I would like mess up a line, and we would have to like stop. And then we'd started meditating. After every 3 takes, we'd be like,
Yeah.
all right, fucking vibe.
We would turn off all the lights in the room and meditate for a little.
Yeah, but I think that when recording with Aiden, just because of his setup, we were able, like, we would record all at the same time, but we wouldn't be in the same room.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was nice because my anxiety was kind of chilled out by knowing that I could do an overdub, and that if I messed up, it wasn't, like, destroying the entire song. But then we still got to, you know, we didn't have to rely on a metronome, and we could just, like, go off of each other, which I feel like was ideal for a vibe.
Yeah, I like having that with us. I like playing with no click for us. I feel like we get a lot of good chemistry when we are all like playing together naturally.
We did record Let Me Know to a click, but it was
Yeah.
loose because I think Aiden tried to like move something around and he was like, oh.
Yeah.
It was like a loose guide. But I think that was also just because he was doing more like production-y stuff with that, like the the like pump and bass effect.
The sidechain compression. Yeah.
Yeah, like that
I-
needed a metronome to kind of like, I don't know.
And that one felt more appropriate to have a click because it's just so poppy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the
And
most
it's
poppy
just
thing.
so like just
Yeah.
that I think it worked.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though because I think a lot of the songs started all of us recording together, but some of them are kind of Frankensteins where it's like the initial song was recorded all of us together and then we all had an overdub at some point to where it's like
Yeah.
But I like it because it's like the core of the track is like from us and not a metronome.
Yeah.
Like the core like feel. Man, I was like 18 or 19. What were you gonna say?
I don't know what any of our songs are about, so I have no idea.
But you do, kinda.
No, he doesn't.
Not really.
He doesn't.
I forget.
Can't you like wait? Give me like your best guess for each of them.
For each of them?
Yeah,
Rooted,
so-
I have no idea. Let me know you went to a concert. And it was crazy.
Yeah.
Rooted was like onset of attraction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rooted is just like, and then Let Me Know. I mean, come on, it's Let Me Know. It's like,
Yeah, you're at a concert.
I went to a concert. I went to a concert and the person I was like, damn, how personal. This is like what I normally tell you guys. I don't know if I want to be like, so here's the tea. No, but it was just like the Let Me Know conversation. Like, what are we,
Yeah, okay.
what are we? Within the scope of like going to a concert. And then next to you, give me your guess.
You want to be next to them.
Dude,
That's all
that's
I
like,
got.
I don't remember
that's
that
like
one.
the opposite.
That's
like the opposite.
And Ty literally just told me the other day what Dead End was about.
What did you say?
It was the end of a relationship and like remembering the good memories, but realizing it has to end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the gist.
They're not that deep.
Yeah.
I write a lot more deep stuff now.
Yeah.
The album that's going to come after is going to be a lot more depth. But this was like, I was like 18 or 19. I've been writing a lot of folk music. I didn't really know how to write pop or rock, which is what I listened to mostly. So I was like, and like, I feel like the EP, for me writing it, and that time was just me like experimenting with like making things sound a little bit more like fun. And like having more riffs and having like a bass line. Like that's the first time I ever wrote a bass line is in Let Me Know, and like all of that, which like you should, like not to claim that whole thing, but yeah, I think I was just trying to have a good time, and so it wasn't depth because I think that before that I was writing really deep shit, and then I was like, it was all like soulful folk music, and I was like, what if I just like wrote some bops? Where was I going with this at all? Yeah, they're not that deep. Next to You, but Next to You is funny because people are always like, oh, it's Next to You, it's like a love song, and like the line is give me a reason. Give me a reason to be next to you. So it's kind of like the falling apart is, but it's still really fun. Now you know.
No, I know.
I love how moody Rooted is.
Yeah.
And it's just
I mean, like, yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like sonically the point comes across a lot more than lyrically even.
Yeah.
Like, you hear that and it's like, yeah. Yeah.
The next album, we're going to do what Andre 3000 did. We're going to play flutes.
That's it.
Jacob.
We're just gonna play flutes.
Yeah. But we don't know how to play them.
That's classic folk. New instruments. I don't know how to play it, but I will.
We should probably
No.
actually talk about the album.
Yeah. Well, okay, so like I feel like the album's material was pretty much done when we started being a band. Because I think the only other things in the album right now, like in our kind of like up for grabs potentially on the album folder, are like Spaceman, which I wrote slightly before you. Because I remember just being
Yeah.
with you and talking about lyrics and you being like, dog, I don't know.
No, I helped with one. I helped with one.
No, yeah, you definitely, you were like, that
was
one's
my one
better.
contribution.
Yeah. So it must have been right before Tyler. So
It
even that
was.
one's like really old, even though I kind of think of it as new, just because the rest of the album is like so much older.
Yeah.
Spaceman, probably like Roll With It. That doesn't matter. Nobody's ever like heard Roll With It. I don't know why
There's a
I'm trying
lot
to
of
like
stuff
list
that
them.
people haven't
There's
heard.
like a handful. There's a handful of songs that I wrote for the album that were like post band, but most of the album was written lyrically and it like core wise before you guys, and some of them have been more collaborative in like arrangement than others, and some of them it's like I'll have like a demo or something. I mean, Heads on a Road Trip, that's gonna be like the title track. Like that's, well, I want to call the album The Body Needs a Break, which is a line in Heads on a Road Trip, so it's like pretty much the title track. But that was like pretty collaborative because I think I like demoed that and like put a bunch of parts in it and I like hated it and was just kind of like go
But
off.
we loved it.
Yeah, well, I liked the song, I just didn't like how I arranged it. So I think that it was pretty collaborative. Would you guys say?
I would.
Arrangement?
Yeah.
So that's a good example of like, I don't know, us being more collaborative, but you know, the song, the like lyrics and like chords were written before you guys. So that's kind of where we're at now with that album. And then there's the other album that's like being written now. Like that's where I'm at in terms of writing, is like the second album, which is going to be more collaborative because I'm not even demoing anything anymore because I want to just leave room for you guys to do whatever you want. I kind of want to take a break from playing so we can work on the new stuff, though.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of burnt out from playing the same songs because it's like we'll have a month to, you know, play a new song, and then it's like, okay, the set, and then the new song isn't ready for the set, so then it gets like put on hold, and then we'll have like a couple weeks to work on a new song, but it's like been a minute because we just played a show. And then there's another show, so I think we might go on hiatus again.
Again.
Yeah, because we had to, like, we stopped when we were recording, and then we got, like, stir crazy. And then we were like, I really, really want to play a show again. But I kind of want to get to a point where we feel that again, because we haven't felt that in, like, a year.
Yeah, it's just been a lot with the EP coming out.
Yeah, and the EP release show happened, and then we were just like, like, we didn't rehearse, we didn't do anything, like, we were like, okay. So we've just started kind of, like, getting back in the groove, I feel like. But, yeah, I kind of want to take a break and just learn a bunch of new songs, because even now, we're rehearsing songs that I wrote in 2020-ish, so there's still some backlog that we haven't gotten through, and I want to just, like, bang it out, because honestly, if we got it all done in one like swoop and didn't do any shows, like we would have a whole new set, like we would have an entire other hour of material, and that'd be cool. And I kind of want to get to the point again where we're like, okay, I want to play a show like so bad, so then when we do play these songs again, we're like, yes, and we're not like the vocal pedal. Oh my god, I wanted like a fourth player for the longest time, and then I gave up. Yeah, I wanted like a female vocalist and keyboard player for like synth and stuff, and like stuff like Let Me Know, and I don't know what else off the top of my head. But I used to write synth parts, and we just didn't play them, and I was like, that's fine, we'll find a key player eventually. But then like we got so tight that I was like, it'd probably be really weird to add a fourth person into the dynamic, and I was like, but the harmonies, like I've written like 7 vocal parts for myself before, like in, you know, before the band and stuff, so I was like, I need to have at least, you know, something going on. And even in the EP, like the vocal pedal can't do some of the parts that I've written because they're not like even, you know, intervals. Who is that? Is it me? What? I was like, I never used that ringtone. What was I on about?
The vocal pedal.
The vocal pedal. Okay, so I was like, I need some harmonies at least. But yeah, in the EP, you can kind of hear like that the harmonies are a little different because that's how I originally wrote them. And then the vocal pedal I bought to supplement the original harmonies. Which again, like the original harmonies that are in the EP are harmonies that I wrote with the like initial conception of the songs, like pre-band, that just no one was able to hear until we released it, because maybe they can kind of hear like a version of it with the pedal, but I've always had harmony ideas for like almost every song I've written, so.
And then I think like the first time you used it, or at least the first time I remember you using it, was on Half-Assed.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just had this totally different character. Mm-hmm. So then also, like it's a really cool thing just to have its own kind of character, because all the
Yeah.
harmonies are perfect, so it just
Uh-huh.
feels weird.
Yeah, and then you also have all these other effects. Like it has like
Yeah.
7 different options on it. So it's like harmonies is one of them, but then it's like I finally get to use distortion on my voice because it's like I was demoing all the stuff and I knew how I wanted my voice to be processed. So yeah, adding kind of like a radio like kind of distortion on like dead end or stuff like that. Yeah, just all the effects that I like. The I get to pick my reverb and I get to pick my distortion and I get to pick if I sound doubled like that like lo-fi like Sufjan Stevens sound, or like I get to like fine tune exactly my vocal sounds, which is really fun. No, dude, I would love to play with a choir. Like, again, I've written, like, many a vocal part, and I've sung on stage with, like, 7 other vocalists before, so, like, to kind of, like, widen that to a choir or something, like, I could definitely write some big vocal parts, and that would be really fun. And there's even some songs that are kind of new that I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to play this with a choir, and just have, like, crazy, like really, like, soulful vocals. Like, I'm thinking, like, maybe not even like a full choir, but maybe kind of like a chamber singer type size, like real soulful singers, I think would be really cool. What about you guys?
I'd love an orchestra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be
I
hype.
love when bands play with
Yeah.
orchestras.
That'd be cool.
I just
Oh,
think cellos are the coolest instrument.
Cellos are so good. I wish I could play cello.
Bring Me the Horizon, which I
Here
have mixed
we go.
feelings on. They released a live album when they played at the Royal Albert Hall with a choir and an orchestra,
Yeah.
and those arrangements of those songs are so cool. And then they have like vibes and marimbas that are so cool, and different percussionists. I want to play with a percussionist. I love when I get to play with a percussionist. And yeah, choirs, I don't know, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Just orchestras are cool. And then I think about like Silva by Snarky Puppy. They have an orchestra with that, and that just makes it nuts.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff you can do with an orchestra.
Yeah. I think it's also like easier for me to write for orchestra than band because it's a lot easier to translate from the voice. Like it's
Yeah.
way easier to like
Yeah.
sing a cello line and then be like that but an octave down and then like sing a whatever. Whereas like band, it's like some of those instruments are just like it's like you can't like sing it and then like translate it. Like people who write for band or like have played a band instrument, like I feel like their brain is working in a different way. My tummy just grumbled. But yeah, I don't know, but a lot of folk music, like a little bit of trumpet or like a little bit of some folky stuff. Dude, Nutri-Milk Hotel and their like musical saws. Have you
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't
No.
listen to Neutral Milk Hotel.
Dude, they have the weirdest freaking sound in their music. It's like this and it's like this wiggly little like ghost voice sound, and I was like, what the heck is that? And I finally like found a live video, and it's a musical saw, but it's also like if you look at a like really seasoned professional play musical saw, it's not wiggly. It's like the fact that they just all like picked up a bunch of instrument, like the trumpet in those tracks is like it's not perfectly played. There's some wrong notes, and like the musical saw is like super wiggly and like whoa, like you can't keep like a steady like pitch, but I love it. Like that's what makes it so good. And I want like a wiggly like musical saw sound at some point. Yeah. That'd be cool to add on. If we ever found like a female theremin player who can also sing, dude, I would be like, this is it. This is the lineup.
I don't know how theremin would work in our music.
Dude, I would figure it
consistently.
out. No, I think we just need an auxiliary player where it's like some keys and some theremin and just some like weird little sounds. Maybe even some percussion. Boom. Then you get a percussion buddy. Yeah. I don't know, but that's a lot to ask to be like, can you do just like a little bit of everything and not have any like super duper
Right.
prominent parts and
No.
also have this be a priority in your
That's
life?
hard. I like our instrumentation though, because
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like our chemistry shows through.
Yeah. I just like the idea of getting experimental with like sounds because it's
Yeah.
like every rock band has the same sounds. It's like drum, bass, guitar, vocal. Cool. Like, but I don't know, there's a point where, like, no one had heard an electric guitar before, and that was, like, a new sound, and I want to, like, write music with a new sound, because that would be cool. Teaching is a lot more fulfilling than I thought it would be, because I did it to just kind of stop doing stuff that wasn't music, and I was like, close enough, I'll do that, I guess, and that's kind of the attitude I went into it. But I, like, am very fulfilled by teaching. I don't know if it's, like, also just, like, the human aspect. I feel like it's enjoyable to, like, find ways to break down information and explain it to people. That's, like, just satisfying for my brain to process. But yeah, I don't know, like, just, like, being with people who are also musicians all day, like, playing music all day, being able to kind of think about information, break it down like that, and also just, like, make music enjoyable for other people, I feel like is really nice, and then not necessarily an aspect I thought about. But yeah, I think it's really, really fun to, I don't know, share that with someone and get them inspired, and yeah. That was crazy. Well, also, I don't think there was the one time at the jam that I heard everybody, because we were all, like, right there. And that was, like, that was Black Hole, and everyone was, like, singing the chorus, and I was like, oh, you guys. And that was, like, the first time I experienced that. But then somebody took a video of me when I sang American Dream, and you guys, like, cut out. And I had never heard anybody sing that. And I didn't even hear it when I was on stage. But in the video, you guys cut out, and it's just me singing Is That the Dream? And in the video, you can hear the crowd sing it with me. And I had no idea until I saw that video that people were singing it with me. And I was like, oh, what the heck, guys? That was just sweet. And I think it's also, like, a byproduct of us finally releasing music, because, like, you can listen to it over and over, and you can, like, learn the lyrics, and you can look up the lyrics and everything. So it makes it, I don't know, a different experience for people, because they already know the song, which is just, like, crazy to think about. What was that like for you guys?
The only time I ever heard it was that one time at the jam with Black Hole, but I can never hear it on stage. Oh, wait, no, there was one time at the EP release show where I could hear people singing, but I can't remember what song. But there was one song where we could hear people singing. But other than that, I've never heard people singing. But my mom always tells me that she hears people singing. That's really sweet. The first time that my mom started telling me that, I was amazed with that. I was like, wow, people actually tolerate the music.
What about you?
I've never noticed it.
No,
never.
Not even at the jams.
I just heard you guys talk about it. No, not even at the jams.
Dude, people were, like, screaming the chorus
That was
of Black
loud.
Hole.
The bass amp's loud, man. That's my
Yeah,
reason.
I think you were on the other side of people, too, because it was, like, Eric and friends on the couch over here.
Yeah.
And then you were, like, over here on the other side.
Yeah, I've never actually noticed it, but
dude, that made
I believe you guys.
That made me so euphoric. I was like, I don't know how to describe it.
I just couldn't. I never thought of it being a thing. I don't know.
Not really.
I like gear.
Tell us about your gear, bro.
I'm super nerdy about vintage stuff. I've got a vintage Slingerland kit, 1972 Slingerland kit. Love Gretsch stuff. Love cymbals. Love reading about how cymbals are made and how different hammering and lathing and thicknesses affect stuff. I don't know.
I had no idea.
I'm a big drum nerd.
The only thing I knew was that you're crazy about your tone snare.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a Gretsch snare that
Your snare tone. What the?
My tone snare. I have a Gretsch snare that I'm super crazy about, and I love that thing because I can get everything out of it. I can get massive rock sounds out of it, and then also if I crank it up, I can get a great jazz sound out of it without changing the head. I don't know. I should be sponsored, but because I will rep Gretsch. But I like gear a lot.
Any gear thoughts? You don't really have a lot of
I
gear.
don't have a lot of gear.
Yeah.
I go for very simple, straight up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to lean that way now.
Yeah.
Because I was finding that as I was like super into gear, then I kept just thinking like, oh, if I have this gear, then I can get that sound. And I think probably the reason why I love that Gretsch snare I have so much is because once I got that snare, I was like, oh wow, it still sounds like suck. So then I realized, okay,
Yeah.
maybe the problem was me and I just need to learn how to tune.
Me. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I'm not really into gear, but I definitely like went down the rabbit hole of pickups.
Oh yeah.
Because I just changed my pickups in my guitar, and I was like I was between the Cunify, like Fender Cunify pickups, what they just started making again because it's like with a weird magnet that the metal stopped being made for or something, I don't know. And that was like, I used to be able to like rattle off a bunch of stuff about this, but like vintage Fender sound. And then I ended up with, those were like stupid expensive. I was like, no, I'm not gonna spend $500 on pickups for my $300 guitar. And then what pickups do I have in my guitar? I've already forgotten now. So I guess I'm not a gearhead. But I did a lot of research on them. It was the Seth Lover humbuckers is what I got. Yeah. Which he made the Cunify. Seth Lover, he did a little switcheroo with like Gibson and Fender, and he made one thing and then switched over and made another thing. So I was like, same guy, different brand. I like that sound. Seth Lover. Let's go. I feel like I keep looking at you and I'm like not looking at Jacob at all.
It's because he smells.
I do smell.
I don't want to look at him.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about what I'm thinking about?
We can't say his name.
Call him Steve.
Okay, Steve.
That was like the first thing that came to my mind. It was our first show at
Come on.
Goose Town.
There was Steve.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he's blocked. He's blocked on the
blocked?
band account.
But then other accounts though.
Yeah, I mean, he
'Cause I-
totally
he
see this
probably has
video.
a
I wonder
burner
what he
account
thinks
that he follows
happened.
us on.
He probably
probably
does. follow
does.
us. And then also, I mean, that was our first show with people in between.
Yeah.
So he probably
So you
follows
probably
people in between too.
might remember him.
He offered us a dog park.
He was
Yes.
like
Yeah.
back, dude, and we literally memoed it. So we have.
Yeah, he kept interrupting our set.
Yeah, we were like on stage, and he was like back of the crowd, and he'd be like, "You guys sound great, dude. Like I have a dog park. You should play at it." And he was like blasting, and we were like, oh my god, when we listened back to that memo, like our like transitions are so slow, and I handled that so awkward. Like I literally would have handled that so much better now that I'm like a more seasoned. Like I hadn't performed in like it's like 2 years because of the pandemic, and I was like, oh, thanks, guy. Like, now I would have been like, thanks, this next song, you know what I mean? Like, I would have just, like, gone into it, but, yeah. And then he just continued, like, every song he would be,
And then we played next to you, and then after he was like, "You guys should practice that one thing more."
Did he? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No, I remember him, I think it was What to Do. And he was like, hey. He moved, at this point he was like front. He was like front and center, like right by the stage, and trying to like have conversations with me. Like leaning like on the stage and like talking to me, and I'm like, dog, we have to play another song.
And we used to run that same set for our first couple of shows. We did that same set, not in the same order, but like the same songs. So to practice it, I would just run through the recording of that set, and like I played through it so many times that like I could quote what Steve was gonna say at each specific song, and like where and what to do. He was going, hey.
I think you like brought it up one day because you were like so used to listening to it, and I had like completely forgotten about it. Yeah, what a guy.
What a guy.
Should I share why I
Sure.
blocked him?
Sure.
It's like what? So what if he sees this? I don't know. No, but he was like, I don't know how to tell the story.
I don't even really remember what happened.
Well-
He's just mean to people.
Yeah, he's
Shows
always,
is,
like,
is the gist
plastered.
of it, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he would be like trashed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was pretty rude.
it was like a year ago, and my girlfriend at the time was there, and he was like, I bet you feel so jealous of how cool summer is, or some shit. Spilled like beer on her, and she was like, that was freaky, and I blocked him. Because I was like, that's uncalled for.
Yeah.
Like, that's super weird. Yeah. So I was like, bye. I think it's the only person I've blocked with the band account because I feel weird about blocking people for personal reasons on the band account because it's like we're a company in a way, so it feels weird to block people. But I was like,
We blocked our
you're
first,
out. Yeah,
we
you're
blocked
done.
our first fan.
Yeah. He was literally at every show though. I was like,
loved
he's
us.
weird, but like he gives us money, so.
Right. Yeah, that's how he felt. We were like, I don't know why he keeps showing up, but he does keep showing
No,
up.
he showed like religiously, like every show. So I was like, go off.
Kitchen, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
dude.
day
he-
after our first show,
Every
he was
single
there.
show, yeah. So I was like, cool, like super fan, and then I was like,
And then it got weird.
too super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will always remember Jeff Herman. I will always remember all of the quotes. I remember everything he's ever said to me.
It's gone full circle now. You're his super fan.
I am. Just some of the shit that he said to me was so funny.
Dude, yeah. I remember I posted a video of my friend, Sophia, who came and toured through Boulder, and I posted a video of her, and that was so sweet because she saw me, because I, like, whittled my way to the front, and she saw me, like, mid-song, and she was like, Summer! And I was like, ah! And it was, like, a really great time, and I posted it on Instagram, and he, like, one of our shows, he was like, I saw the video of your friend, but, like, you, and I stopped him, and I said, don't compare me to my friend, I love her. Because I don't know what people's, like, deal is where they're, like, their instinct is to be, like, they see you and then they see another musician and they're like, okay, the way to flatter you is to put your friends down.
Yeah.
Or to, like, put you above. And I'm like, that's not the goal, dude. Like, my friend just got signed to Warner Brothers and she's touring and I'm proud of her. And I could tell that he was trying to do that and I was like, stop it. Right there, sir. Just, like, weird stuff like that. And he got all flustered and he was, like, all insecure about it. And I was like, we are not doing that. The album! In, like, a year and a half. Well, I think we might release an EP before the album.
Yeah, there's
We've been brewing.
some straggler songs.
Yeah, there's some songs that don't really fit with the album that I kind of wrote, like, in my college time, like, pre-pandemic, and then I feel like the album happened, like, post-pandemic, and it was a totally different vibe because it was post-pandemic, like, a lot more feelsy and everything. So I've kind of been tossing the idea around of making an EP of the kind of, like, fun stuff I wrote before the world ended. And then I stopped writing fun stuff. That's pretty much what happened. Yeah. So maybe an EP, definitely an album eventually.
New material.
Lots of new material. New old material.
Yeah.
Lots of material I wrote
New-
many years
but
ago that
new-
you've never heard.
New to everybody else, though.
Yeah. And then actual new material, because I've been writing a lot more lately.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of why I want to take a break from gigging. Because I've been writing, I don't know, I've been way more of a flow than I have been the last couple of years. Because we just haven't been doing 1,000 things like we normally are. Yeah. But it's more sad shit. Some weird shit, though. Yeah.
Nah,
100 nickel.
fuck you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right now we just have 100 nickel on December 7th. And we might go on a little breaky break after that, so come out. And then next show is probably going to be, like, almost all new material. I want it to at least be half new. So, exciting stuff. But not a ton of live shows, I don't think.
Yeah. I'm being really conscious about not sitting awkwardly. This is probably going to mean that I'm going to sit awkwardly.
Yeah, you're kind of sitting awkwardly right now.
Am I?
Only a little.
I think it's just the arms. That should be the intro. It's just us being like...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Aiden.
Aiden.
How do you not?
My
go there?
husband.
Yeah, Aiden, dude. Oh my God, he's great. Aiden is amazing. He cares so much. He's not gonna settle for anything mid with what he does. He cares so much, and he also has the patience to deal with me disagreeing with him and us both being really stubborn.
Yeah.
He has the patience to be like, okay, like, I don't think this will work, and then it doesn't work, and he's like, so anyway.
And Aiden's just awesome. He has great hospitality. He's just
he always gives us
such a dude.
snacks. He always gives us snacks and drinks, and he's just a dad. Like, he's just like, he just takes care of everybody, and he's amazing, and he's really good at what he does, and he's a very generous person, and
people in between.
people in between for having us, dude. We're always at the jams. Well, every
Not
time
always.
we're like every time we're at the
We're
jams, I just feel
sometimes at the
so.
jams.
I feel
We
so.
try to make it to the jams.
I feel so good when I'm at the jams because I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
I guess I should say Eric because nobody's gonna know if I say you. Eric, who's totally not in the room right now,
Yeah.
always makes us feel so at home and good, and you know, always gives us a spot to play a couple songs, which I really appreciate because I don't know how to improvise. So it's always like, clear the floor, clear the floor.
Yeah.
Summer Bedhead's coming in. They're going to play a couple songs that they've been rehearsing because we don't know how to wing it. I'm scared.
Yeah, we all huddle up, the three of us. And we're like,
Yeah.
What are we going to play?
play a song, and then we like send someone over to talk to Eric.
Yeah, because I feel like such a butthole if I was like, no, like, we're playing our stuff now. Get off. Get off the bass. Get off the extra guitar. No. Yeah, it always feels nice, and yeah, you guys have just made such a good community of musicians. I feel like I say this every time, like a proud mom or some shit.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, we used to be just a tiny little group of people in the living room, and now it's like this huge event.
Gosh.
Like,
Yeah.
huge event, and you know, it's always nice to be there and see all the community happen and just strengthen our own like circles, and yeah, it's just like super valuable like center of a lot of Denver music, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
It's like it's making the community a lot stronger, I think. So yeah, people in between jams. Kedra, she's playing with us, 100 nickel.
Mm-hmm.
Wombat the Monkey Man, also 100 nickel. Aiden Roberts of Tango Studios. I'm gonna think of like 3 other people.
I know. I'm gonna start driving home.
I'm gonna
now.
be like, oh, God, I wasn't thankful enough.
I know. I'm trying to think. Is there anyone else?
Maddie Menendez and all of her bands. She's my best friend. Anything else?
I don't know.
Chris Voss, Silver Screen Fantasy. Just released Orbit. They're playing a show November 30th at Lost Lake. There we go. I would have felt really bad if I forgot that one. Really good. Really good stuff. Really vibey stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is vibey.